Hello everyone, this is Nat Green from natgreenonline.com. A few days later, they upgraded and I made $1,000. Hey guys, it's Nat Green here from natgreenonline.com, and in this video I want to show you the right way how to make a three-dimensional vision board. Now, what is a three-dimensional vision board? It's basically a vision board, just like a lot of the regular ones that you see, but it's built in layers and it has a certain flow to it. And the whole reason why you would want to do this instead of a traditional one and just slapping pictures up on a piece of cardboard or whatever is because you want it to be three-dimensional. You want it to pop out, you want it to stand out, and you want it to evoke emotions. What are you gonna need? Well, you're gonna need a glue stick, some good scissors, and having good ones is always key, of course. You don't necessarily need one, but having a nice straight razor blade or X-Acto might help for just kind of cutting things out. And of course the board itself, which I'll show you in a couple minutes, but you can basically use any sheet of paper board. Obviously the larger the better to have a larger surface area, or foam core board as well. But I mean, you could even use cardboard if you wanted to, I guess. But basically, from there, you want to make sure that you get some good magazines that are going to have some inspiring images, some good products if you want to focus on getting some material items, as well as getting some good text, so you can have some little sayings and stuff on them. Now, some of the ones that I recommend getting is the Robb Report. And the Robb Report talks about a lot of different high-end stuff. You'll see here that there's a cover of a sweet-ass Lamborghini on the front. And there's all sorts of watches and travel and basically the finer things in life. And it actually gets paired, these come together, with another sort of supplemental magazine called Collection. So you get those two, which I think are both for 10 bucks, which is a good deal. Magazines are actually pretty damn expensive these days. Also, you're going to want a bunch of travel magazines, and of course you can go to Kohl's or Chapters or your Barnes & Noble bookstore or whatever, but you can also just go to a travel agency and they'll give you a bunch of stuff. And actually I have a few different ones, like a US-Canada one specifically for WestJet, which is a Canadian airline, but they travel all over the world. Top Deck, this is like a tour company out of Australia, New Zealand. And actually this one is really good too, is a Club Med. But basically if you just go into a travel agency and tell them to give you a stack of magazines that you're going to be traveling a lot more in the future, that they'll be happy to give you a bunch of stuff, no problem. And there's a lot of really good images that you can use. Then I bought some other ones. I bought a Traveler magazine here. And this one actually is Homes and Living. Now what's cool with this one is I live in Vancouver, BC, or actually a suburb about 20 minutes away. But this one actually is specific to the Vancouver area, and so some of the homes in here are actually from Vancouver. And of course, there's a lot of high lifestyle type of stuff in there. But I thought what was cool is that, I mean, it's plausible that I could own a home in here, because this is in the city that I live in currently, but also want to continue living in, because Vancouver is rated as the #1 or #2 city in the world for living. Although the real estate is damn high, but that's okay. We're gonna make a lot of money, and that's one of the reasons why we put these things in the vision board. So one thing to keep in mind, of course, is that the more specific that you get with things, the more likely it's gonna evoke emotion from you, and it's gonna be more focused energy on the types of things or experiences that you want to acquire. Now, a lot of people will focus on material items like cars, boats, planes and stuff, and while yes, I have some of that too, for me personally is that I want to experience more things in life, and I want to travel more. So I've made it really clear as far as places that I want to go and destinations I want to see, and the types of experiences that I want to do. Okay, so what we're going to do first is basically there's basically 3 different processes. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is rip things out. So you're going to go through the magazines. Oh, I should mention I actually use some of my girlfriends like Oprah magazines, and you can use Cosmo or any type of lifestyle magazines as well, snowboarding, skateboard, activity stuff. if that's the kind of thing you're into, you know, mountain biking or climbing, whatever, and just rip all that stuff out. So the first step, let's just say that I was into dancing, okay? I'm not a huge dancer, but let's just say I was. What you want to do is just rip it out, okay? Now, if you want to, this is where the X-Acto comes in, if you want to be a little more precise with things and just get a good cut in there. But basically, you just want to go through and, you know, okay, we've got a city in Bangor, okay? So let's say that we like this image, okay? So all we do is just rip it right out. Okay, so of course we're going to go through and, you know, go through all the magazines that we have and just rip stuff out, rip stuff out, rip stuff out. If you see a cool, you know, word or slogan, for example, like this one here, make it happen. Okay, now actually I already found another page earlier that said make it happen, but make it happen, that's a cool little tagline, right? So I could just, you know, rip it out, okay? So basically find images, activities, you know, places you want to visit, things you want to do, words that you know, either piece together, or if they're a complete sentence or complete thought, then you can rip those out as well. So go ahead and do all that stuff, and then the next thing that you want to do is actually start cutting things out. So you'll see here as an example, I've got a Maserati, okay? Now you might want to cut it out even finer, like I actually did with, got a yacht here, right? Or I've got another actual Lamborghini there. Gotta love the Lambos, right? And so, you know, basically by doing stuff like that, this is the stuff that's gonna be on the foreground, whereas the, you know, the settings and the, you know, the destination places are going to be in the background, and this stuff is going to pop off the front or off the back, okay? Also, I've got some words here, right? So I've got traveler, and I'm cutting that out, okay? I've got power. I've got confidence, okay? And you'll notice how I'm cutting those out. I've got my lifestyle, success, healthy, right? And you guys get the idea here, okay? Now there's a couple of things that I'm gonna do to piece stuff together. For example, I love life, right? But I'm gonna cut that out nicer so it looks cool, right? But so those are the kinds of things that you want to do, and then we're going to assemble the boards. Okay guys, so now that you've got everything cut out and trimmed up and stuff, now what you want to do is to plan out your board. And I always suggest, you know, take a couple extra minutes and you know, just layer things out the right way. Don't worry about sticking everything on now, but what you want to do, of course, is to cover up all the white space so you've got, you know, all color that's attracting the eye to it. And I would definitely suggesting, you know, kind of layering some of your background images, right? And of course these background images are all your scenery and destination type of photos, okay? So you want to layer those out, and you know, you can kind of, you know, just plan everything out really nice so it looks good. Then the next step, once you've got that, of course, is to then glue everything down. With your foreground images, like your items of, you know, your objects of desire, whether it's, you know, cars or bikes or planes or trains or boats or whatever it is, those are the types of things that you actually want to really take some time and strategize where you place them. And a rule that I suggest you follow is actually place them in the shape of an infinity symbol, which is basically like a figure 8 type of shape, okay? And the reason for that is it really draws the eye to the center of the board, and it's going to help you focus on things. Plus it just looks more aesthetically pleasing anyway. Also, when you're placing your boats, cars, or whatever it is, you want to place them so they're facing the inside. So a lot of times with car photography, they take a photo from, you know, one of the side front fenders looking on. So for example, if you look at the Lamborghini, right, it's basically done on an angle. So in this case, I would want to have it on the left side so the center is facing in, okay? Where conversely, actually I'll hold both of those up here, the jet here is facing the opposite direction, okay? So I'd want to have this on the right hand side facing the inside, okay? Now, like I said again, that basically just draws the eye in and really holds your attention, and it just looks that much nicer, okay? So once you've got everything, you know, laid out as far as how you want to attach it, then basically you do so. You get your glue stick and put it all down and make sure you got it all in a nice flow. So I'll show you my board here in just a sec. All right guys, so this is it. This is the finished product. I'm really excited about it. As you can see here, I mean, everything really pops off the page. You'll notice here, like I mentioned before, that you want to, you know, face some of the foreground images in a certain way. So, you know, the helicopter that I'm going to go heliboarding in my Maserati, they're facing the center, right? I've got a Lamborghini and a Ducati Hypermotard motorcycle. You know, they're kind of facing to the center as well. I've got Bora Bora right in the middle. I've always wanted to go to Bora Bora, so that's something that you know, I've really focused on in the center of the board. But you know, a couple things that you know, I mean, you can just looking at it, you can see how everything is popping off of the background, right? And you know, your eye is really kind of drawn, you know, to the center of the page. But of course, if you look, you know, all around the image, there's stuff going on anywhere or everywhere. And you know, I've got some really cool things that mean a lot to me as well. So I'm really excited about how it turned out. If you haven't done so already, then I definitely recommend, you know, making your own vision board or making a new one that's going to be 3D like this one, so it really helps with your visualization exercises. I'll post a link down below here that will actually, I'll kind of walk you through with why I chose some of the things that I did and some of the you know, the sayings, why they, you know, what they mean and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, I really hope that you got something out of this tutorial, you know, how to make a three-dimensional vision board. And definitely I recommend that you do this exercise. And of course, you know, not just, you know, making it and then, you know, tucking it away. It's something that you want to look at every day, at least once, if not, you know, a couple times throughout the day, and to really, you know, get in your preferred state and really focus on, you know, the feeling that everything inside of your vision board, you know, how does it make you feel? Why does it make you feel that way? Because the more you can focus on the feelings, the more that things are actually going to come true for you. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And like I said before, if you want to click on the link down below here, I'll show you, you know, exactly what some of the stuff means for my own vision board. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video.